Alright, what are we doing? What is even happening right now? Sad piano and stationeers. What a great combo. It doesn't feel right when I'm playing this game and there isn't like classical music in the background. It's a good classical music game. Alright, well, I was just saying, where did we leave off here? We had left off, we programmed this Harvey dude. We programmed this arm with a bunch of program in the programming chip. It's supposed to go out and grab stuff and bring it back. Drop it in here. Get that all like sorted and managed somewhere else. And then get seeds and fertilizer to be able to grab those and plant some plants. So that's about where we were leaving it. And we had just, a couple things. We had run into an issue with Harvey. Harvey's a little broken, but generally speaking, the program that I wrote was a little bit wrong. We were writing this Harvey dude to basically like go out and grab one thing and then go back and drop it off and then go grab one thing. And that's like 21 trips per plant per harvest because they give like 20 hay and one seed. So that's a ridiculous amount of travel time. This guy, they've modified it since they released it. And they modified it in a couple ways. One, it can grab everything at once, including the seed. It's got like a stack for its inventory where it can have a seed in like a hopper, and then it can also have the hay below that. So we can grab everything at once without going back and forward. That's really important. That's going to increase the speed of this program like really dramatically. Like, I don't know, 10x, 20x. So we definitely want to get that working correctly. And then also I had written a bunch of custom logic for like looking at these planters. They're each individually named 16, 17, 18, 19. They're named to match the station that they're at. And so I had written some explicit logic to like put these in a stack and pop through them and go look at each one of these individually, check them. We don't need that anymore either. There's logic in this guy where when it's just sitting there idle above a plant, we can look at, I think, like slot 255. We can look at the last slot or some like end slot 255, and that's going to tell us all the conditions of the plant that's below it. So we don't need to have like any of that logic. These don't need to be plugged in. We could even get rid of these in-between pipes and instead have just like the planters rubbing into each other. That's going to be better. I think we want to do that. And then we want to basically rewrite the logic on this guy, more or less entirely. It was good. It didn't take very long, and it was good to like get a little bit of practice. And it might only be some modifications to what already is there. It's probably just like refactored a little bit. But we definitely want to tweak the way this guy's brain is working, on top of like fixing whatever's wrong with it right now. Those are things to do. We started a composting room down there. You can see compost. So the hay that we farm gets shoved into a composting room, and then we sort it to pull the seeds out and put those in the right bins, and then we turn it into compost. And the whole point of all of this, mostly, well, I guess two purposes. One, the general ARM logic for the planter is going to work for all plants. So in the future, when we start automating more farms, we'll have that code ready to go. That's nice to have and like a for sure definitely going to want to write for this save. So good to be working on that. But I'm doing this mostly, I want nitrogen. The composting process, as it does the composting on the hay, it releases nitrogen and volatiles. It's going to fill up this room with air. If we don't deal with that, it'll actually like fill it up until it explodes. So all we need to do is we need to check to see, are you at like a maximum pressure? If so, then pump some air out. And in the pipes where we're removing air, we can add some logic if we want to harvest the nitrogen. We can filter some nitrogen out from those and pump that into our nitrogen collection. And that'll be, we've had like no nitrogen production the entire game. The whole game so far, our nitrogen production has been whatever comes out of our furnace getting filtered for nitrogen. And that was good enough to give us coolant for the majority of the save. We need like thousands and thousands and thousands of moles of nitrogen to fill up this nitrogen cooling station. It's a one-time job, but it's a lot of work. So this is going to be where we get that nitrogen, I think. So that's why we're getting this done. I want to wrap that up, and then we can have nitrogen for our cooling center. Get some rocketry going. What else? Small's looking good. I haven't had to do any sort of fixes on this. I also ran into a bug here. When I thought about it, I think I already thought up a fix. So I think I want to start even. Let's just fix this guy. Let's change the logic, just very slightly, on our crafting machines. So the crafting machines here have a bunch of logic for them, where they've got controls for dials, where we can set how much of something we want to make, and then click go. And that's a lot of work. There's a lot that goes into making that happen. I've written a custom program that's been a little bit troublesome, where it'll like iterate through every single... If you make 200 things, it's like 200 different individual jobs that it's iterating through, kinda. And it's updating these guys along the way, and you can cancel it in between. There's like some nice functionality that comes out of that, but we are running into bugs right now. In particular, we were running into a bug where when we started crafting something, a lot of something, when it was done crafting, if we clicked this and tried to cancel the job, it wouldn't recognize that it needed to cancel the job, and it would just like not reset anything, and it would keep this guy locked up, and it would be in a bad state. So I thought about that, and I think I figured out what we want to do there. It's not very bad at all. Let's take a quick look at this. We have a variable for job is done. This is like the individual job. If I want to say give me 200 cables, then it's going to do 200 jobs, where a job is done is going to flip 200 times as each job is wrapped up. So the key is, when we look in our logic here, we're doing some big branching to check, are we in a state when we're supposed to cancel the job? Basically, if we are already running the job and you flip the switch to cancel, this is the functionality that's detecting that and deciding, okay, we need to cancel this, and call the cancel stage to reset all the dials and unlock the machine and all that jazz. So the problem here is that this job is done is getting set to true when our, like, the main batch of jobs is not done. We're not looking for specific job is done. We're looking for like the batch, all 200. So I'm going to make a new variable for batch is done. Alias v batch is done. It's going to be R6. This goes to 5. This goes to 4. Alright, so we've got batch is done, and then we're going to want to set that. That's basically where we're doing job is done for the most part. So let's see. When we are in our idle stage... Let's see, we're moving along, we're doing stuff. So here, where we're setting job is done, we'll also set batch is done. That goes to a 0, so we'll set that to false. The batch is not done because we just started a job. So when it goes from idle to running and it does a job, we'll make sure that batch is done is 0. Okay, so that's one spot. And then when the actual batch is totally complete, then we want to reset that. And that's actually going to happen here. When we cancel, the batch is going to be done. And we'll set that to 1. So when we cancel, job is done, batch is done, we'll reset these. The batch is done is now changed. This will only be set to 1 during the cancel stage. So when we initially start running, it's going to be a 0. When it's just like sitting in the idle stage, or sorry, it's going to be, we'd probably want to default it to 1 actually, now that I think about it. Where are you? I can just copy paste that code. Yeah, we have the same logic for job is done. So we'll set it to 1 to start, saying the batch is done. It's going to be idle, it'll do this idle loop. It'll keep thinking forever until you click the switch, and then it's going to actually enter the crafting phase. We'll set batch is done to 0 there. And then every time you run a job, it's just going to be setting that to 0 again and again and again. It won't get set to 1 until we're at the very end and we do the cancel. And the cancel is called no matter how this thing wraps up. If it's explicitly canceled or to wrap it up at the end of the job, we just invoke the cancel stage once the dials get to 0. Okay, anyway, I think this is going to fix the logic that we were seeing not working correctly. I'm going to overwrite that for the crafter controller. I'm going to delete the old crafter controller since that is not being used anywhere. We're going to export that. Are you going to run without any error? Are you going to explode immediately? No problems. Okay. Let's export that a couple more times. Probably should test it first. But let's do it. I'm feeling cocky. Okay. And now how do we test this? We do cables maybe is a good one. So I'll say give me 200 cables. I'll click start, and what we want to do is we want to cancel after it's done running one of the jobs. And it's just kind of like sitting idle, waiting for the next loop to start another job. So when we see it turn off, more or less. Nice, that's a strong start. Nothing happens. Come on, are you sure? Are you sure nothing happens? Did I break you that bad that quick? I just added one boolean without thinking about it too much. Maybe I didn't think about it enough. It looks like I didn't think about it enough. I exported, right? Probably. Alright, what have we messed up? What's going on here? What did I do? Oh, I see. I ran off of the end of the code here at 127. And we lost a line or two of code. I see. Okay, so we've already saved this code. I'm gonna save scum this real quick. I think what we do is we load the explicit save. Since we saved it into the computer, if we load this guy, then this is going to be loading the old code into those ICs. I just want to take a look at the old code, and I want to make sure that we didn't delete anything important from the end of that program there, or the end of that function there. And we still have our new code, which we can apply immediately. Too cocky. Wasn't working. Gotta test it. Okay, so if we take a look, then we can overwrite the old, or we can get the new code in here. We still got the v2, right? We can check that. This should be running off the end at 127. It is. So we ended at set not equal with a stacker count. Okay, what are you? Import. Let's go down to the bottom of the program and see what we deleted. So set not equal with the stacker count. And then it's gonna or job is done 0. I'm just gonna copy this. We're gonna overwrite here. We're gonna make an extra line or two. A little gross. We're gonna crunch it together. And then we'll add what we had here that we deleted. That is paste this line, and there was a J raw. Okay, any other scrunching I should do? This feels gross. This feels wrong. Makes my code grosser to look at. We're going to save this. This is our new v2. I'm going to confirm, going to export. I'm going to test you before I get cocky and overwrite all the other code. Give me 200 cables. Give me 200 cables. Alright, moment of truth. Do you go? Goes. And right there, we turn it off. Okay, I think it's working. Maybe test it again. Good. Okay. I think we're good. I think that's it. So there we go. There is another bug down. This is probably the 10th time I've opened up the floor for these crafters. But one of these times, there's going to be no more bugs. Hopefully this is it. Okay, so we'll start with a quick fix there. Still working on getting the perfect IC code for those. Getting closer. It's much better now. It's a little slow, but it works real well. Okay. So that's a thing to do. Pick up some of the stuff. Oh yeah, we made plastic sheets. We're making a bunch of plastic sheets for the ceiling. We've got some chutes. We've got some walls. We've got a lot of walls. Ooh, we got too many walls maybe. Got a lot of overflow here. I might need more storage. Give me more backpacks. Give me like 3 more actually. Do I want to do 3? I probably want to have at least like 1 slot for stuff. And I probably shouldn't be using a mining bag. But we should do this. I'd say at least 2 more. Give me 2 of these. Go. What are your thoughts on Forzen? I'm trying to remember who Forzen is. I know that Forzen is one of the biggest names in streaming. I'm picturing Moist Critical. So maybe he looks something like Moist Critical. But I'm not even confident in that. And all of this is enough for me to feel very unconfident making any sort of judgments about him. Did I even get his gender right? Is Forzen a dude? Maybe. Is Forzen one of those anime cats? There's a lot of anime cats that are streaming now. I kind of like them. Anime cats are cool people. This is fun to see. So as we're crafting the backpacks, we ran out of this material. The mall is automatically turning on, automatically crafting this for us, so that it can fill up this missing slot in this machine. It's good to see. Auto furnace and mall are working nicely. And then all of those resources are automatically distributed here, which is why this is going off. This guy was hungry for more astraloy. Alright, so what colors have I not used? Have I not used any colors? There's got to be something. We haven't done a yellow? Oh, I haven't done a purple. Purple's good. Alright, there's a couple more bags. I might want to like start nesting these too. Like have a red and a red and a red. And just have all of them be electronics. Something like that's probably a better idea. Theoretically, you could have like infinite storage. You just need to make sure the organization is good enough that you don't mess it up. Anyway. All good. Let's grab some stuff. Maybe eat a nice cake. Alright, chilling, we're dancing. This guy's cooking. I want to see you do the thing. I want to see you correctly do the thing. It's going to go to 1,000, and then it's going to empty. Pressure go down. And then it's going to shoot for a min pressure of 30 kilopascals. Max pressure of 32 kilopascals. Is that megapascals? It's gotta be megapascals. At 1K Celsius. So we should be seeing it do that now. Shooting for 30 megapascals at 1K. There it is. All done. Makes the recipe. Lets it all go. Count goes to 0. Enters the mall. You can hear it shooping through the tubes. Listen. Listen closely. Listen through your headset. Put your hand against your headset like a weirdo and listen. Do you hear that? That's the sound of stuff shooping through our tubes. There it is. Then it appears here. Give it a minute. This count will update. Light goes off. You resume looping through all the materials and you find that we are low on steel. So you start making some steel, and we are indeed low on some steel. Awesome. This is so cool. So this guy just keeps looping through the mall forever, making whatever we need. And if we ever run out of stuff, we can see very easily on the lights. And the counts down here. See, oh, you need 5 more coal, or whatever. Super cool. That's the best automated setup for production I've had so far. Happy it's working good. Okay, that's enough flexing. What was I doing? We were doing things. We were gonna program a thing that wasn't programmed right. I remembered that. We were gonna buy some. We're continually interacting with traders to buy and sell, and buy nitrogen in particular. So I want to keep an eye out for that. We got the stream dude in here is good for something. Let's find out. I think we bought some gas from him before, and I think we could either buy more gas or sell to him. He's here for a reason. What's your deal? We got all your nitrogen. That's the only thing we want. Nothing else. We can sell volatiles. Okay, so he wants 107 volatiles. No problem. Let's turn off the outputs for nitrogen. Actually, come to think of it, I want to take a quick look. Have I set you to 107 yet? Set you to 107. 7. Cool. I want to take a quick look at the IC code here. As part of your... Load, come on, load. As part of your clearing phase, do you turn everything off? Are you just like setting by hash, or are you setting by hash and name? So this is the logic for our, for this guy. What this is this is a system for loading stuff into the trade center. So like right now, we want to sell volatiles. We want to sell them 107, so we set it to 107. We set it to 0 for volatiles, and then we click a button for go. And the first thing it's going to do is it's going to pump our station to 0. It needs to be a total vacuum before we put anything in it, because if it's not, then it's going to mix the contents and we won't be able to sell it anymore. If it's not like perfect at the exact material he wants, at the exact temperature range, then it's going to break. So the first thing is clear to vacuum. I want to check during that clear to vacuum, are we turning all of these off? I want to check that, because if these automatically turn off, I don't need to be manually messing with them anymore or worrying about them. I can just like turn it on, and then we're going to be okay. It's going to programmatically fix it. So let's make sure that's happening. I'm going to look to the stage for emptying. Got idle. Here's emptying. Okay. So we set by name to turn these on. What are we doing here? Okay. Got it. So in emptying, when we get to the emptying stage, it changes the stage to emptying. When we're leaving idle and going into emptying, it changes the stage to emptying. It turns on the two outputs, the liquid output for any liquids, the gas output for any gas, and we just vent that into the atmosphere. Then when we get to emptying, it's trying to constantly see, are the amount of moles in the storage less than 0? As long as they're greater than 0, then just keep going to main. And then once it's actually reached a vacuum, okay, now we're going to turn off our gas inputs for liquid and gas. So that seems good, but I think we can do more than that. Instead of doing set by name, let's just do set batch and turn these off. Let's remove the hashes for the name. We'll say set batch, and instead of targeting a specific item with a specific name, we'll target all items for gas landing output, for liquid landing output, and this will hit the nitrogen outputs as well. There's nothing on this circuit other than things that we would want to turn off. So let's turn them all off, is the idea. And then finally it goes into stage filling, and it turns on the inputs for the right thing, for whatever it's supposed to be. Okay, I think that's good. This is going to be trade loader was the name of this program. We're going to overwrite, we're going to confirm, we're going to export. We can test this now if we want to, just to be 100% sure this is working, but this is a little nice to have. If we didn't have this, like let's say the situation we're just currently in, we bought nitrogen, we pumped that out into our system, we use this gas area to pump it out. This is liquid, this is gas, these go to nitrogen. Show me. Goes out to nitrogen. This one goes out to nitrogen. Anyway, these were on. If I had forgot to turn them off, now our program is going to automatically do that, so we don't just start dumping our volatiles into our nitrogen system, which would be bad. So let's set this to 107. Let's click the button. I'm going to save scum beforehand just in case, but we should see these flicker on and off, and when it turned off, it should have turned these off too, which it did. So now we're not losing our nitrogen. This guy is filling with volatiles until it reaches the target. It went just a teeny bit above, which is no problem. Now we can sell. That's a nice little fix for that one. Or a nice little safeguard, I suppose. Now we can sell all of these. Okay, and I think that's all we want from this guy. We wanted to get a little bit of money and send him away. I think we actually get more money than we gave him, so that's nice. We'll let him go. Re-enter. And then we can test the other button, which should be working fine, but there's a teeny bit of overfill from when we filled up with volatiles, so we'll click an exhaust button, and it'll pump that to vacuum to get us ready for next time. Then all these dials reset. Nice. Still working. Okay, so there's a couple little program fixes. What else should we do? Let's keep picking away towards nitrogen and composting. I'm gonna reset my everything. Head out. I was thinking I kind of want to like refactor this a teeny bit. We should swap out these vents for large vents. This is the most used airlock. We could easily set it up so that we could move through faster. If they were using the big vent, it's going to be probably twice as fast or not more. If not more. So maybe we'll do that too. That's a thing to do. But for now, let's just hop in here for a sec. Let's get you done. I am going to turn this into a room. This is our composting room, and it needs walls. It needs to be its own little room, own little atmosphere, which we can then control. Okay, is that it? You got walls? I feel like you should be a different color. I feel like compost is brown. I think you're brown. Let's make you brown. Let's give you a nice poo color. Nice. Healthy poo brown is the name of this color. This is called Doctor Approves Brown. It's kind of like mowing a lawn, but it's totally different. Commentary. Alright. Compost room is now appropriately poo colored. Let's give it a poo floor. Nice. Let's throw some cladding in, actually. I like cladding. Start making things look a little nicer a little sooner, maybe. We got some cladding in here somewhere. I see a bunch of generic things. I see no cladding. Okay. Maybe not. Maybe one of these guys is cladding. Anyway. Here's another airlock. This one's got the big fans, so it's faster. Look how fast that is. Here's our compost room, which is now a total room. Ah, yeah, with its own atmosphere and everything. Let's see, what do we want to do here? I think... Do we care about the temperature? I don't think so. Just thinking, do we want to, like, pump this to vacuum? Meh. I don't think that matters too much. But let's write some of the logic for pumping the air out of here, basically. How is that going to work? Let's find out. This should be a real simple one. This is going to be a simple program where we'll just check the pressure of the room. If we're above a threshold, then we will pump air out until we are below the threshold. And that's going to go out into some storage, which we can then filter. Seems good. Let's work on setting that up, and then when we turn the composters on, we can start collecting the nitrogen, like right away. Let's get this guy set up. Let's get some nice chutes set up to feed our composters. Let's just make some progress on getting this machine working, and then we can go play with Larry and get him working as well. And then we'll finally have nitrogen. Like 340 days, no, like 400 days into this save, something like that. Gotta get some nitrogen and some actual planting going. Seems good. Okay, so we've got our vent here. This will be our exhaust vent. We're gonna need a sensor to detect the pressure in the room. Just do a nice gas sensor here. Put it this way is fine. We are going to need an IC script to teach this guy what to do. That can go here is fine. These are all going to need to be plugged into each other. They're going to need a... am I out of IC chips? Holy. I am out of IC chips. That's amazing. We had so many IC chips. They're going to need an IC chip. Let's keep plugging them in for now. I forget, did I start a job for cables? I think we're about out of cables here. We're gonna need cables. Gotta tell the machines to make me cables. I'll have some power here. I think we can probably pull off of this line is fine. There's not a lot going on with this one. Do you go through the walls? You do not. Can we make you go through the walls? Am I accidentally walking through an airlock? Yes. I think we're gonna have some ground out here. I should just do that now. I was gonna say, I think we're gonna have some ground out here. And this is where we'll do our filtration. Just right outside. Doesn't need to be in the room. So let's extend this a bit. Maybe add a little 3x3. What's up, guy? I did fly the little bird. It's nice to see it. It felt good to be little again. It felt like there was some stuff that's a little off with it. It felt like the pitch was super fast. Maybe the roller yaw was a little fast too. It felt very twitchy. And it felt like the throttle up and down were a little off. The throttle down towards the ground in particular was like comically slow. You couldn't go as fast as gravity. It's just like the thing had to fly, which feels off. So it seems like it's good to see it in the game. It seems like it's not quite balanced right yet. I'm guessing that's probably why it's not quite in the game yet. I'm guessing they just haven't got around to getting it to a point where it's ready to go. We'll see. Did you try it out? Did you like it? Was it good to be a little bird again? It's good to be a little bird again. This view is so cool. X-ray. Alright, we need IC chips. Do we have IC chips in the wall? Have I used all the IC chips in the various devices? I think we have. It's funny how fast those disappear. Okay, give me like 10 IC chips. Go. And what do we have for traders? Can we get any more nitrogen going? Anyone interesting? This one looks good. Ooh, and we can reach them. Cool. This one would be good. We can't bring the 6x6s. These are like the hardest to target. I think these are like the large target 6x6, and this is like a medium target, I'm guessing. I want to write some code someday. Maybe after the composting stuff actually would make sense. I want to write some code to handle the satellite automatically. I think I've got an idea for that that'll work well. But let's bring this guy in. See if he at least wants to buy some gas. I'm a peacock, you gotta let me fly, I agree. I'm a spoiled little helicopter boy, you need to give me my spoiled little helicopter. Well, I'm gonna keep these. Let's grab some cladding. I remember I wanted cladding. Give me some cladding. Simple, boring, old cladding. Try and get rid of some items. Maybe even, like, throw them away sometime. Recycle them so they're not creating visual lag. Okay, I think we're good. Just trying to get rid of a little bit of stuff if we can. Or put it in storage, I mean. We are the storage. I am the storage. You keep everything on the U. And then you've always got everything. Just gotta make sure it's organized. Okay, how are we doing? Is that enough ICs? Do we need maybe like one more IC here probably? I'm guessing we're gonna have more programs to rate. Let's get that through. And was there any cables on the wall too? I was looking for boring cables. Not even the fancy cables. We could probably grab a fancy cable. Boring old, normal old cables. Nothing. No problem. We'll make more later. Or even, I could just make you make cables, right? You're slower, but it works. Give me 200, 300, 400 cables. Go. Okay, you will sell me nothing interesting. You will buy shitty mining drills if we wanna. I don't know if that's worth the chore. That's not enough water or food. Sorry, water or fuel, I mean. I'm gonna let you go. Anything else we want to bring in? Not the cuisine dude. This one, but we can't get him, I don't think. The signal's not going to be good enough. All good. You've just been going forever. What you mad about? Are your filters dead? Filters at 0? Your filters are dead. Did you make the air clean? What does the air look like? There's still pollutants, dude. You didn't even do the thing, you fuck. How could you? Let's do a large pollutant filter. Give me one large pollutant filter. What else is there? Water? I don't think we need to grab that. What do we got? Is there anything else in the air I want to remove? Let's take a quick look. I think it's just the teeny bit of pollutant, which we really don't need to deal with. That's fine. That's pretty much from using the spray can. So I'm going to turn you off. Swap out a battery, maybe. I'm going to throw some of these over here. You should be living in the wall, I think. Let's get some batteries ready to go for when the vendors come by, since they frequently want to buy stuff that takes a battery, and I never have any charged. Good. Did you make the thing? Yep. Thing goes here. Yep. Your garbage. Nothing else interesting here. Yep. Got all the things I need. Yep. Let's go out. I'll redo the suit real quick. I am a spaceman. I saw a little bird. Little bird's beautiful. Kitty is good. He got lots of rubs and love. He's liking his new food. I tried to take him on a walk, and he stood outside for a second, got some sniffs in. Went back inside, but he has been getting some good sniffs. He's been enjoying his window time. He's a good boy. He just wants to chill, maybe take a nap. Let's throw some cladding down immediately. The space can start looking better. And actually, it's more comfortable to run through now. What about a little paint in here, maybe? I kind of like the black. Oh, yeah. Sticking with that poo color theme. This feels good. Nice poo. Poo black. Poo black and brown. Poo should be this color, actually. That's not a good sign. Alright, here we are. I think I'm going to... Let's just vent this to a vacuum real quick. Let's get rid of the air that we know we don't care for at all. That's going to be as simple as throwing this down. And then turning on the vent for a moment. And we'll swap it out for something better. But let's just get rid of this hot garbage air. You go... You working? Going down? Pressure go down. Okay, so this is slurping out all the garbage air. Which is just the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide, volatile pollution. We have more than enough of all those things already. Let's get that out of here. And mostly just kind of like cool it off. But we'll get it to vacuum, and as soon as these start running, they'll be pumping out stuff. We may need air conditioning in here too, now that I think about it. It's probably a good idea to give it a line of air conditioning so that we make sure we never go to any sort of scary temperatures. I think that theoretically shouldn't happen, but like if everything backs up and turns off, then the room might just keep heating. Would that matter? If this goes to 1,000 degrees, do I care? Maybe not. But it would be pretty trivial to do air conditioning in here. Alright, what are we doing? I'm doing a program for you. I think this is the easiest program in the world. I think we've already got it written. This is going to just be like a min pressure program. Let's take a look. Do we have... I'm sure we have min pressure. Min pressure, min temp is fine. Max pressure seems good. What is max pressure? Max pressure is a very short program where you define a max pressure. You have a tank and an exhaust. It's going to check the pressure. And then turn on the exhaust. Okay. Let's say de-sensor, maybe. Or even pressure sensor. I think tank is a little worse than sensor. Like, the tank is the sensor. So let's do sensor. Put that there. Call that good. Overwrite, call it max pressure. Now, in our case for this program, clean this up more. Should be a little bit more less. There we go. So in our case, what we're using here, our pressure is not going to be 55 megapascals. That would blow out the walls of the room and then some. Let's say you're going to like 100 megapascals. It's probably good. Just like 1 atmosphere is fair. Or even like 70. Keep it a little less so the airlock runs fast. Doesn't need much pressure. We'll say 70 kilopascals is the max pressure before we start emptying the room. And it's as simple as that. We'll just change the value for when we're going to trigger stuff. And this should all work. Throw this in here, turn it on, breaks immediately because it needs to get the devices. Our devices are simple. They are just the... Oh, I need to label these. This is our room gas sensor. And this is our room exhaust vent. Okay. That goes here. Are we at a vacuum? We're basically vacuum. I'm going to turn you off. And then we will say our sensor is going to be the room gas sensor. So that's what we're going to be using to determine the pressure. And then our exhaust device is going to be the room exhaust vent. So that's what we're going to be turning on to lower the pressure. There we go. So now this guy's ready to go. We turn it on. Nothing happens. But the moment we get above that threshold, this vent's going to turn on. So now we're always going to have a max pressure of 70-something kilopascals, which is like half an atmosphere. After that, you turn on. So let's make sure that you're set up. What happens when this vent turns on? Well, let's find out. When this vent turns on, it's going to pump air out. into a tank. Let's start with that. And let's make this maybe gray. It's probably a good color. Gray is like generic gray air, like gray water that you just collect rain or something. You can kind of use it for stuff, but it's also kind of gross. So we got gray here. This is coming out from here. So we collect that. Comes down. Goes into our tank. Okay. So what I'm thinking here, right now it's just going to overpressure and explode. But this is our collection of nitrogen. So what I'm thinking here is we have a couple programs. One, we set up a filtration device to filter out the nitrogen. Its input is going to be this collection of air. Its output is going to be the nitrogen. And its logic is going to basically be if the input is above a threshold and the output is below a threshold, turn on. So it'll load up our nitrogen supply until the nitrogen is full, and it won't run if the input is not very full yet. I think that's a good start. Let's see, so we got that, and then we're going to need an exhaust here as well, because eventually we're going to fill up on nitrogen, and then this is going to start to overfill. So we want to have an exhaust saying if this is more than like 40 kilopascals or something, then just turn on a vent and let that go. So that's what we're looking for here. That should be pretty easy to do. How's that going to work? Let's give it an exhaust first off here. So the exhaust can be super simple. Can just be a digital valve. This is just like a valve that allows free flow of air. So we can just toggle this on and off. And that's going to just open it up with the atmosphere here, which is always going to be way, way, way lower pressure. So it's pretty much, there'll be a tiny bit of atmosphere air that comes back in. We'll get a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of pollution and carbon dioxide and volatiles and stuff. But for the most part, this is going to be just blasting air out of here. And it'll very quickly relieve pressure as this high pressure tank dumps its air into the atmosphere. So we can just toggle this thing on and off. And that's going to work for us to release some bad air, or release some overpressured air. We'll let a teeny bit of bad air into the system, but it doesn't matter. If it was one of like the pure oxygen or pure carbon dioxide or something, the fuel, then you don't want to pollute it at all. But in this case, no problem. So there's that, and then it needs to be programmed and plugged in. Let's paint it too. I like painting. Let's make it look pretty. Ooh, gorgeous. Wow, even more beautiful than I expected. This is gonna need programming. We're gonna need power. Okay, and we'll have to write some logic for that. I think that's, again, just going to be the overpressure thing. Let's just throw that down right now. That's super easy. Let's see. We'll give you a brain right here. That's a pretty song. And you're gonna have the exact same logic. Your max pressure is, let's do this literally the exact max pressure script here, 55. The thing will start, it'll explode at 60. So this will allow it to have a lot of pressure, just build up tons and tons and tons of pressure, but don't overpressure. So this is perfect. We'll just use the default overpressure script, throw it in here, turn it on, brakes immediately. Let's label our variables. Our variables are going to be our tank. So we will have a tank is a great name for our tank. Sure. And then this is our digital valve. So this is our Exhaust valve seems good. We have an exhaust vent and an exhaust valve. But that's okay. I think we can understand what's in this circuit. You broke, right? You're broken. You need stuff, and the braking gives us labels. Your sensor is going to be the tank. Your exhaust is going to be the exhaust valve. Turn that on. Okay, so now nothing happens. But turn this on and see it's going to immediately turn off. This guy will turn on when we have more than 55. And we just put some garbage air in here. Like I was explaining could happen without consequence. So yep, we got some garbage air in there. With no consequence. All good, so we have an exhaust. Now we need to have our filtration system. Do we have any spare filters, Atmo things on me? What we got here? Fascinating, pressure. Nice. I'm glad I can amuse you with coding. I am also amused by coding. I've really enjoyed watching Stationeers. I think those are my favorite streams right now. Just watching other people play Stationeers. I am looking for the atmospherics. I think we might have to make them. I don't think I've got any on me, but I'm just doing a quick scan. Not seeing anything. Hello, Storm. Oh, and I wanted to check... So let's start heading towards home. I wanted to check the batteries. And I want to check... if our... What do you call them? Stirling engines are running again. I remember last time they weren't running. So what's our batteries? Our batteries are all pretty full. I just wanted to look before the storm starts filling them up more. Looks like our Stirling engine machine is making energy. That's good. Okay, let's find our way home here. Looks good. Storm looks cool. Nice. You all done making those? How about some cables? You make me 400 cables, because you're much faster than this machine. I'm gonna turn this off. Does it work? Come on. Come on. Didn't I give you the programming to make this exact thing work? Didn't we just do this? Didn't we just do this? Do I have to open you up again? This is the exact case that I thought I fixed that is not fixed. Let me look at you. You got the correct logic in your brains? Are your brains fried? Your brains work? Show me your brains. Put your brains inside of my computer. Do you have that new variable we just made? You do. Batch is done. Okay. Batch is done. So we're computing the batch is done all over the place, and then we're not using it in the correct spot. Batch is done is supposed to go here. This is where we use batch is done. Yep, that makes sense. Okay, you are now going to overwrite the crafter controller. We're going to save, we're going to export, throw that in. Let's try this again. So you're going to make a bunch of things that turn you on. You're going to make one. When that's done, I turn you off. You reset. That's what you're supposed to do. Hopefully I caught it in the right time. I'm not 100% sure. I think this is closer again. And I'm still not 100% sure this is right. Again. So we immediately have to open these up. Again. That's fine, I don't mind. We're getting closer. This is a super cool program. I'm glad it's working. I mean, it's got little edge cases, so we're still working out. But overall, this is working. It's doing the thing. And it is requesting resources when it needs. And it's just a little bit finicky. Let's see if that's the last fix. Hopefully. Okay. Looking good. And then I wanted some atmospherics. Just like one. Do I have that in the wall? Likely. No. Just give me one atmospheric. These are rare. Don't need a lot of these. You absolute fuck. Oh, it's working. It just needed things. Which it successfully requested so that it could build things. And you finish? You doing your thing correctly? You gonna wrap up and decrement the number and do the thing and the stuff? Hopefully. Alright, there's our atmospherics. Goes to 0, turns off. Good, good, good. What about our... What are we doing? We're filtering nitrogen here. So we're gonna need 2 heavy nitrogen filters. Then I'm gonna chill for a second. I need to grab some food from downstairs. Use the bathroom real quick, run some ads. I'll be back in just a moment. Alright, and we're back. Thank you for waiting, sorry about that. Okay, everything is good. Life is good, the world is beautiful, everything is perfect. Nobody's ever gonna die. Let's go out there and do some things and some stuff.
Oxygen critical.
So where were we? We got our air collection. We got our overpressurization set up. We need our filtration. Okay. I think right here looks good. This should be able to plug in. There's our input. We got unfiltered, filtered. So this is our nitrogen. And this guy can just go straight out into the abyss. Okay, looks good. What do you want? I think you want wires as well. And a screwdriver. There it is. Okay, we can plug this in and program it. And we can reuse the exact program we've used for volatiles and carbon dioxide. Let's see. Let's throw one of these out. Grab our computer. Take a look at that. Where'd the computer go? There we go. You go in here. Edit. So we've got a program here for volatiles or carbon dioxide. I don't know what we called it, but I bet it's in here somewhere. Filtration, maybe. Filtration with vent, maybe. I feel like filtration might be it. We could probably tweak that. Target filtration. That seems right. So this is filtration where we're looking to hit a specific target. We have a min input pressure, and we have a target output pressure. As long as we have at least 5 megapascals of pressure, you can turn on and then turn off, or you're looking to target an output pressure of 3900. So this is perfect. This is exactly what we need. And this guy, this is just using purely the logic on the filtration device, just dB looking at itself. So there's no program, or no programmed inputs, no programming required. This is exactly the program we need. Throw this guy in here. Give it nitrogen. Turn it on. It is ready to go, and it does exactly nothing, as it is currently waiting for the input to be at least 5 megapascals of pressure before it's going to turn on. So just sitting idle and waiting. And then it'll try and fill this line, which right now is a single pipe. We'll plug this into our nitrogen. Okay, so basically just completely reusing the programs that we already had written elsewhere in our base for pressure management and filtration. We've now got this composting room all set up with a nice airlock. We'll do our composting in here. That will generate a bunch of nitrogen and volatiles at like room temperature, I think 45 C. When the room gets above 70 or 70 kilopascals, then this guy's going to turn on and vent some air out. We will collect that production of volatiles and nitrogen here up to a max pressure of 55 megapascals, at which point it's going to let some air out, so we'll never overpressurize. Then we'll have a high pressure input line here for our filtration device, which can filter out nitrogen to try and achieve however much nitrogen we want in this system. Now we plug this into our existing nitrogen system, and that's progress. We're not ready to go, but we've got a big part of this done, where we're going to be collecting all of this gas and adding it to our main nitrogen system, where it is cooled off, and will also depressurize if it ever needs to, because this has got a just constant supply getting added to it. Seems good. Let's move this along. Get it plugged in, and then maybe even attach that to our nitrogen phase changing system. I think we could plug that in like now. It's a good idea. I think this already has a good collection of gas that we could start condensing and cooling off. Alright, so this guy comes over and just connects straight in to the existing system. There we go. So we are now collecting nitrogen and adding it here. We've already got a little bit of a collection. Everything that is getting produced, either ore or stuff from the centrifuge, that all gets filtered and shoves its nitrogen into here. So this guy's already got a little bit, not much. Oh, it's pretty bad. How much do you have? Yeah, it's got like 5 kmol. Not amazing. I think it's like 15 kmol is 1,000 liters, something like that. It's like 2,000 liters to get this thing filled up to here. It's 1,000 liters per square. So we need a lot. Anyway, we could probably write some quick program if we wanted to pump that into here, so that we could add that to the condensation line. Let's see how to do that. How do I want to do that? Do I want to do that? What do I want to do here? Let's go ahead and do it. So first off, let's go ahead and pump the nitrogen over. This is our nice, clean, self-produced nitrogen line. Needs to go over these guys. This is our liquid pollutant. Let's see, we could probably write some program just like right out front here. We could have some software right here to connect these guys, maybe. Seems good. So I will deliberately leave a small space. Then let's pump these, or route these two together. Boom, it's perfect. Let's see. Probably do a volume pump here, or a turbo pump. That's a pressure regulator. That might be okay too, actually. Just thinking, how do we want to do this? We want to be adding nitrogen to the system until we have enough nitrogen in the system. If we overfill it, that could cause trouble or explosions, and we would lose our most valuable resource. So we want to be careful with this. For now, we could just like turn it on full force, basically, and it's going to be a long time, but I feel like we should programmatically handle this. If I do a min pressure with a pressure regulator, then that's always going to be condensing, unless I add custom logic for the condenser, so that it doesn't turn on unless it needs more liquid. What I'm thinking is we probably just keep track of the amount of liquid we have and the pressure. And if the pressure is low and the liquid is low, then we add more, is what I'm thinking. So it will draw until it has enough of either, and then it'll stop filling. We should never overfill, especially if we have a big buffer of liquid. Then it should never overfill. I think that's probably how we want to do it, and we already have all those devices on the network, basically. So that should be pretty easy to write. That's just like an AND statement. And with that in mind, then we're going to want not a pressure regulator, not a digital valve, but a pump or a turbo pump. Do I have either of those on me? Do I need to go grab some or make some? I see a volume pump. Perfect. We'll do a volume pump. We'll max it out. Call that good. That can live here. Okay, so this just needs programming. Oh, that's the wrong one. My bad. So many buttons. I'm doing my best. Here we go. You just plug this into the existing circuit, which is handling basically the condensation room. It's the appropriate place for it. We have power. I think we have all the devices. We have a chip. We need to program it. Okay. And what does that look like? What do we want to do here? Is there any program we have that's similar? I'm trying to think of what this would be called. I feel like it should be its own custom thing. That we don't even save in the source library. I don't think we save this into our Git here. Let's see. I don't think there's like any of these that I want to reuse, basically. Let's just start with the blank template. This is just like the generic program that doesn't do anything really. Just has a couple variables, a couple examples more or less. So let's just dive straight into this and do it. What are we doing? What do we got plugged in? We're going to have our liquid tank. We're going to have our gas tank. These are the devices that are plugged in. They're going to be routed to D0 and D1, which is the device on the chip housing. We're going to have our pump. That's D2. So this should be all we need to turn on the pump. Okay. We're not having a temperature. We're going to have our, let's see, pressure. This is our gas pressure. It's going to be R15. We're going to have our liquid volume. Be R14. That's the amount of volume. Let's label this gas pressure, liquid volume, just to make it a little more clear since we're messing with gas and liquid here. Okay, so those are our variables. We're going to keep track of the pressure. We're going to keep track of how much liquid is in the storage. And then we're also going to have a boolean for whether or not the volume pump is on. So the volume pump is on. It's going to be in R13, register 13. Okay. What are we going to have for constants? We're going to have a min pressure of, let's say max pressure maybe. max pressure. And let's say, ooh, what do I want to do here? I don't think it needs to be much. It's going to get slurped into the condenser really fast. We do max pressure of like 2 megapascals is probably fine. Do we want to do that much? So then every time the liquid gets low, it's going to pump in 2 megapascals of nitrogen, which is going to need to be condensed. And that actually could be a lot since there's storage. So it's going to add a lot of liquid every time. That might be okay. Let's maybe do 1. Probably a little better. So max pressure is 1,000. It's always going to keep 1 megapascal of pressure in there. And then that's only if we are in need of any liquid. So we'll just say define max liquid. Or max volume. So this is the max liquid volume. And this guy's going to be... I don't know. What are you going to be? Let's take a look. How much do you fill liquid tank? Show me. What do you hold? You hold a capacity of 6,000 liters. So let's say if you are less than half full is usually what I do. We'll say 3,000. And are you plugged in? You are not plugged in. I want you plugged in. You're empty, right? You're total void. Total void. I'm just thinking, can I rotate this? Is there a way to rotate this that would be convenient? I think so, actually. So this is empty. We can destroy it without consequence. I don't think it's plugged into any logic anywhere either. Let's just get rid of that. I want it to rotate it this way. Good. Plug it in. This has got power now. So we can get the automation wire in and start keeping track of its volume. This is why we're doing this. We were missing this one thing and it was difficult to get at. And then this also needs to be plugged in with liquid, which can just go right in to the pipe system we have right here. So you're all plugged in again. And you are now plugged in with the automation wire so that we can program based on whatever your value is. And I have checked you out. We will look for 3,000 liters is half full. So, our max volume is 3,000. Alright. So those are our variables. We have our main loop. Our main loop is going to yield for just 1 tick. Then it's going to load variables. Come back here. It's going to set the pump. So we'll set D volume pump on is V volume pump is on. Okay, and now we need to drive the logic for this variable. But it's going to do a loop, it's going to load the variables, determine whether or not the pump's supposed to be on. It's going to set that pump to on or off, and it's just going to keep doing that forever while waiting 1 tick to let all the values update. For loading variables, we're going to load into the gas pressure, the D gas tank pressure. We're going to load into the liquid volume, the D liquid tank volume of liquid. Yeah. This is how much liquid's in the tank. Good. So we've now loaded both of these variables. Our variable gas pressure has whatever gas pressure is in the tank for this iteration. Liquid volume has the liquid volume. And then we just need to compute where we want to turn the gas pump on if the, let's see, so let's write it in a comment. The V volume pump is on is equal to gas pressure being less than max pressure and the liquid volume being less than max volume. Okay, simple as that. So that's what we're looking to do. So that should be pretty easy. First, we're going to load the 2 clauses, this clause and this clause. Let's compute them into a register, a temporary variable. So I'm going to say set less than, we're going to store this in R0, our temporary variable, register 0, is going to contain if the V gas pressure is less than max pressure. And then we're going to say set less than R1. So the first register, register 1, V liquid volume is less than max volume. Okay. And then we're going to say the volume pump is on is going to be the and of those two clauses, R0 and R1. So compute if the pressure is less than max pressure and if the volume pump or the volume is less than max volume, and those together. If both of these are true, then it's going to turn on. And that should do it. Unless I've got something wrong, which could be, but that's a pretty simple program. We turn that on, it breaks immediately. Oh, it's not plugged in. Doesn't have the power to break. We give it power, we turn it on, it breaks immediately. We turn it off, and we route the devices. What should your name be? You are nitrogen pump or something. So our liquid tank is the liquid tank. Liquid tank small. Good. Our gas tank is the gas tank. Are you plugged in? Maybe. Maybe not. I might need to plug that in. Gotta plug that in. Volume pump is the volume pump. Nitrogen volume pump. Nitrogen pump. Good. Let me in. And then it looks like we're missing the automation wire to you. Yeah? Yeah, there it is. I see where it should be and it's not. Should I rotate you too? Are you a void as well? Let's look at you. You got anything in there? Nope. Perfect. I'm going to do the exact same rotation here. Let's grab this guy, flip him. Rotate this way is perfect. And then redo a couple of these. That goes. That goes. And that goes there. Okay, so now you're plugged in with the gas. Gotta plug you into the automation. Good. Now we should be able to see it. And just while I'm here, let's get a nice cladding or two down. Those are nice. At the very least, like, make it easier to walk in the airlock. Having the plate exposed like that, you have to, like, maneuver around it. This is much easier. Good. Little details. Alright, now I can finish programming you. The gas tank is the gas tank. Small tank. Okay. I'm going to save just in case, but I think this is good. These are both below the threshold. So even though we don't have a ton of gas, it should immediately turn on, I think. And it does. That's good. Let's walk through. I was thinking, too, we probably want to increase the pressure for the condensation chamber. We could theoretically have, like, any infinite pressure, and it should only help. So let's at least turn it up to, like, 7. Oh, it's already maxed. Okay. Never mind. We got it. Anyway, that starts pumping some nitrogen in. Can we see that in the lines? We can see small amounts of nitrogen entering and disappearing. Now it's actually starting to pile up a little. So the nitrogen is filling into the storage. It is going into the condensation chamber. Condensation chamber is cooling it off. And that's pretty hot nitrogen. So it's taking a while. It's coming in at like 20 C. It needs to cool off to negative 90 C. So it's doing that. You can see it falling. It's dumping that heat into our coolant line of oxygen here, which is up to 10 megapascals now. Nice. And that guy is synced with our radiators here. You can see them exchanging joules, small amounts of energy. Synced with this guy, who is warm now. Ooh, okay, interesting. So our coolant system is now struggling to keep up. And it's now, since it's warmer, it's struggling to cool off the nitrogen like we want to. That's interesting. We'll have to work on that. Anything else I want to do here? Do I want to increase the pressure more? Is 10,000 enough? Should we do like 15 or 20? Are we good here? Maybe. I'm going to adjust this slightly. So right now we have a pressure regulator that's moving this to 10,000, which it's achieved. This is the coolant line that's only for nitrogen. We've also got a coolant line here for our whole base, basically. This is the one that does all of the water cooling and all the air conditioning everywhere. This is a different one. We want to pressurize this too. It's only at 2 megapascals. I probably want it closer to 10 as well. Let's have a lot of coolant. It'll help it work more effectively. So I am going to grab these. We're going to reroute this up a little bit. You can go this way. Now that's going to pump coolant into here now too. And this is just oxygen coming from the greenhouse. That's the thing to do. And give that an hour or two. And it'll fill up that line. Alright, so we're good. We're plugging things in. We're doing the things in the stuff. We got some nitrogen now. If it's being generated, it's going to be added to the nitrogen cooling system intelligently in a way that shouldn't overfill the pipes or cause any explosions. Seems good. Let's see. What else do we want? I was thinking we probably want a large storage tank of liquid for like the starter thing of the nitrogen, almost exactly like this, where we have a large storage tank here to start this system. That might not be a bad idea. And what's going on with our liquid coolant? We have a huge amount in our base, our production. This is like way full, 40,000 liters of liquid. That's coming in to each of these chambers. Ooh, are you dead? Ooh. Ooh, excuse me. Are we out of power or something? Is that what's going on? Are we just perpetually out of power? Look at that, we're out of power. We are super, super out of power. Are you guys running? You are. Are you working correctly? You are... I think this thing might be running out of air. Is that our problem? I'm not sure. For now, I think I want to let's just do this. If we just turn this guy off. Let me the fuck up, dude. Come on. Are you serious? Are you serious, game? You trolling me? Jetpack, please. Can I turn this guy off for a moment? If we do that, this saves 45 kilowatts of draw. So that is going to make a big difference right away. Did like one of these lines burst or something? If I look at our input line for here, how much power do you have? Your actual is 1.74 kilowatts, which is not much. I would expect a lot more. Let's follow that line. And I can see you got ripped, dude. You fucking ripped. How did you burst? Interesting. So we've got a snap here, which means we had more than 100 kilowatts moving through this line. Where do you get power? You get power from this transformer, which only allows 50 kilowatts through at a time. I hear seizing and exploding. Yes. These guys, when they run out of power, shit in the bed. We might need to add some logic for handling the shits in the beds. Alright, all good. Let's work this out. So what's going on here? Why are you breaking? First off, we definitely need to replace this wire, and that's immediately going to make a big difference. We should arguably do that right now. I'm going to do that right now. Where are my big wires? There we go. Okay. So that will turn the power back on unless it immediately bursts somewhere else. Did I just hear it snap somewhere? I think I heard a wire snap. But maybe not. Anyway, this comes up. This goes just into here, which is also connected with the output from here. Okay. I'm thinking maybe the storm. We're at 49. Should we tweak you down a little? This is power storm air. Let's turn this down. I'm gonna turn to like 40 max coming through here. I think that's what busted the line. So I think the storm running through put too much power, the 50 kilowatts down here, plus the storm's 49, plus whatever was going on with the solar panels was enough to overdo that line, and it snapped, exploded. Thinking that's what happened there. I'm almost tempted to like remove the solar panels. Don't need them. It's too much. Okay. All good. So anyway, I think that might have been our issue with our cooling. It's just that we were out of power. Now with that line plugged in, these guys are immediately filling. And this is with like relatively low gas and stuff too on the Stirling engines. Let's give that a day or two and see what happens. But I think that'll fix it. And hopefully it won't snap anymore now that it has just like less power allowed into the line with that transformer turned down a bit. I'm at 0 food, 0 water, and just dying. Nice. Good, better. Let's see. So we're not gonna have traders for a bit. I can't bring you in, can I? Not with that thing. Oh, it worked! Oh! My dish isn't even on and it worked. It's amazing. Just do a couple jumps here. Nice, made our cables, 200, 400 cables as requested. And not even like 399 or 401, but exactly 400, and then you shut off and everything's at 0. Magic. Okay.
Oxygen critical.
How you doing, guy? Do you do any interesting things? You want to buy fuel and water. Didn't I already bring you down and say goodbye? I say goodbye. Okay. What now? What do we got? What's going on? What's happening? Composting. Wally's. Resume. Larry's, not Wally's. How are we doing? Are you out of power? Is our main power line just struggling? No, we definitely have power. I see no power here. Did you snap somehow? Did the main power line die? And if so, that means our greenhouse is probably off. Let's check on that before all our plants die. And I'm just screaming. What's going on over here? Got power coming along. I can see power here, but you might be operating on battery. And in fact, I see your low battery. Ooh. Okay, you have power. How about you guys? You doing good? You do not have power. You do not have power. Something's fucked in my power. Ooh, did I break 100 kilowatts? Is that what's happening? We might have done over 100 kilowatts finally. Might need another power circuit for our satellite dish in particular. That comes to mind as an immediate one to adjust. Just following this along. Okay, I see power coming from here. We got power here, right? Goes over here. Are you powered? Maybe. Are you powered? Maybe. So maybe it's that Is it that we like have enough power and it's just draining into this or something? No. Although it could have to do with the batteries. We might have over 100 kilowatt draw. So like in the case where we ran out of power, so it started going on battery power for all the everything. And then when power came back, all these batteries started charging as hard as they could with whatever power's in the line. So that might have snapped the line. Maybe. Just kind of thinking out loud here. We can see here's like the main output right there. It's the main output for the power. It's coming along. It's coming this way. It's going down. It's going this way. You're still working. Goes all the way along to here. Still working, I think. Not seeing any snaps anywhere. Are you working? Lights are off. Can we see anything? No. I think it has to do with batteries, maybe. What if we just give it a little time for the batteries to fill? Maybe? But I would think it would just try and overload the circuit. That's my guess. Can I take a look at what's going on here? Let's try to remove one of the walls. Use the network jiggy to see what network this is. Are you guys the same network? This is 16 devices with 0 watts going through. And this is number 428. So I'm pretty sure this is a different network than this one. Look over 428. That's kind of cool. You are 429 with actual 10 kilowatt, potential 24 megawatt. Yeah, that's a lot. I think the batteries are a bad idea. I think they're doing too much draw, and we got to see where's this line breaking. Ah, look at that. Okay. Interesting. So the batteries are causing trouble. I think we want to remove like all of the battery lines basically. I think we want our batteries to be our batteries and we don't ever want to blow this line out. Huh, okay. Well, let's fix this before our plants die. That would be bad. So this needs to be corrected here. That should fix it. I'm hesitant to do it yet. First, let's get all of the batteries replaced with transformers. Let's do a transformer with a max power. Okay, you'll resume in a minute, but we found our break. Where else do we have batteries? I think we've got like one over here. Yep, got one over here. Let's get rid of that. That becomes a transformer. Good, turn it on, give it power. Okay. And keep this guy. I don't even know if I want these anymore. Maybe I throw these into the garbage forever. I do want the battery though. Where's the battery? That battery just fell. There it is. Those are expensive. Collect that. What else we got? We got one there. We get the cladding? Where'd the cladding go? Come on. Oh, there it is. Let's put the cladding back. Nice. Any more batteries? You are not a battery. Not a battery. Not a battery. Battery, battery. And do we even have enough? We need another transformer or two. Okay. Transformer, give me 10 transformers, go. Is that working? You good? Do you need stuff? And you can't call stuff because that's dead? Likely. I think we might be good to turn this on again. Let's turn this on again. I'm gonna save just in case. We can cut the broken wire and replace it. And let's see if you snap. Power resumes. All turns on. You gonna request resources? You are. You already did. You're crafting now. Good. Okay. What you wait for, buddy? Do you need things? Is there something coming down the tube? Yep. That's interesting. I've never had this problem before. Thirsty batteries. Blowing up my everything. Okay. That's 2 down. 1 more to go. I think this is gonna break the machine too when we do it, but let's do it. See what happens for science. Where's the things fell? I'm sure there's cladding. That's the thing. There should be a power thing and a battery thing hiding somewhere in the shrubberies. They're very good hiders. I'm gonna let them hide forever, maybe because I'm lazy. Oh, got him. We got him. And then you go here. We got them all. Okay, is that it? Did we replace batteries everywhere now? I'm just seeing transformers. I'm seeing the lights on. I'm seeing the grow lights on. That's good to see. Plants don't have to die. Okay. I'm glad I caught that. If I had not noticed that, all of the plants would have died. That would have been such a headache. Oh my god, I'd be so deeply annoyed. Alright, good catch. Good work, team. Oh, we did it. I want to replace the claddings. I want our base to look good. Thank you. It's my partner anniversary. It's like my birthday. I like that. That's a fun feature. I always forget about that. It's always a pleasant surprise every year. Alright, I'm going to take a seed from 2 of these, and I'm going to plant 2 more. I'm going to resume. What were we doing? What's going on? Fixing the power. Power's fixed. Got some transformers. They can go into the storage. Battery, go here. Battery, go here. Battery, go here. Good. What next? You're good. Drank an 8, all that jazz. Everything's good. World is beautiful. Everything's good. It's night again. What's going on with our Stirling engines? What's our power look like? Our power's immediately filling, like super rapidly filling. That's good to see. Stirling engines are working then, I assume. How much power comes through the Stirling engines? You guys not even running? You don't even need to? Why aren't you running? Are we low on pressure? We are. Hot tank is empty. So you are running, and you're running at like 0 speed because you have 0 pressure. Makes sense. Are you running? Are you off? You're off. You don't have power, so we blew the line somewhere else too. This is a problem. Okay. Where did we blow a line here? Let's see. Let's follow it back. Got some power there. Ah, okay. There. Now, what do we have for the networking on here? Oof. So it's actively at 40-ish kilowatts. It has a potential of 20 megawatts. Which, what is that? Like 20 times the amount that will burst the cable? That's not good. Why is that the case? Are there more batteries on this line that I missed? Theoretically, it should be only transformers, and we should have enough. What? You're just not taking any power? Yeah? Okay. Should be only transformers, and we should have enough power supply that we could hopefully, like, run them all at max. I take that back immediately. We can't run them all at max. Anyway, we just need to keep an eye on the power usage. It's pretty high. And we need to make sure it never breaks above 100, since we're running into trouble there. If I turn on the satellite dish alone, that's another 45 kilowatts. That's like 50% of the usage of this wire. So I'm thinking if we're starting to see the wires snap, we could just turn stuff on again and hope it doesn't happen. Or keep an eye on it. But I'm thinking we probably need a separate line of power just for the trade stations, basically. And I'm thinking for that, we could just reuse what we're doing here for Stirling engines. This is basically, I think for this planet, this is probably our go-to for easy, quick power for like outposts. Or in this case, we need another heavy watt power line. We could just set up a station like this really quickly. Plug it into the satellite dish. And then there we go. We've pulled 45 kilowatts off the main power line. So that might be a thing to do. And we might need to do that before we resume trading. Alright, these are all running again. Temperature's starting to drop. That's good. We'll have to give that time. I think these... I'm not sure if these were... the temperature was high because these guys weren't running. That would definitely affect it. But it could also be that we're running out of, like, coolant, or we're stressing the system too much. And I can see, just looking at this, we only have 2 liters of coolant in the final cooling chamber here. That's a very small amount. 400 there, 700 there, 400 there, 700 there. So overall, our coolant's just low, I think, is part of it. We can give that time. Is there anything we want to do about that? It seems like the choke is here. We have tons and tons and tons of liquid here. And it's just not entering the system fast enough. The more liquid in the system, the more evaporation we have. Faster it goes. So maybe we want to... well, I mean, you just give it time. Maybe everything starts filling and it's all okay. But maybe we want to add another liquid vent into each chamber. Or at least the first few chambers. So that liquid can move through the system more quickly. And so that we're not getting a big pileup of possible coolant here. That's just never... it can't... it's like getting squeezed through a straw. Right now. We could just have more output. And it should all just turn up. So that's one thing to do. We could add a vent or two. But I think we're just going to give it a little time. I mostly want to just look at this and see, like, are you on? Are you working? Do you guys have power like you should? Because you don't. This is what I was thinking. Something's still off. So we got another burst in this line somewhere else even. Right here. That's funny. So the line just snapped all over the place. It's like the draw on the circuit got too high, and then it snapped in like 4 different places instead of just one. Okay, all good. There. You guys have power. All turns on again. Alright, we cool? Did I fix my everything maybe? Maybe, until it breaks again. And what do you look like for the power draw? So you're still chilling at like 25 kilowatts or so. Potential's down? 16 megawatts? Odd. Oh, we do have an area power control. That's a good idea. I can see these. So there's one I'm missing at least. Where? Looks like pretty much entirely transformer smalls, which is good. Where'd that go? There it is. Okay. Off. Here. So there's one area of power control though. Where is that? Can I find it? Where would I have put that? There's a lot of base. Could theoretically be anywhere. Oh, I know where it is. It's right up here. It's this guy. This is the one. It's the one that runs our solar panels. So that we can always have energy to turn on the solar panels. Okay, I think I want to tweak this very slightly. Let's remove this guy. Throw it into the void. I don't think I'm going to use those anymore. I'll keep the battery. Remove this guy. Just move it a little bit. Where should you live? Dying. I'm alive again. Oh, can I put you on the wall? Oh! That's so weird. You're so weird. I'm putting you right here. We're doing it. It goes right here. No, it doesn't. I take it back immediately. Anyway, I want to put a large transformer right here. We should have 2 large transformers so that any power coming down the line can go through transformers before it goes to batteries. Right now, if we have more than 50 kilowatt draw, then it goes 50 on here and then battery after. If we have 2 transformers, then it doesn't go through battery necessarily. Beacon can go here is good. Let's put it by the front door. Let's see, what am I looking for? This and this. Good, you turn on. Relabel you to home. Good. I need 1 large transformer for this. Large. 1. Go. I wonder, we might already be okay. Just doing all of this might be enough that we can turn on the satellite dish again without any sort of consequence. It was running for a long time without problem. I think that running out of power was the main problem because it put a ton of draw into the batteries and that made our shit go zap. Which shouldn't be a problem anymore in theory, unless it, you know, happens again. But I'm just wondering if I can avoid the chore of giving the satellite dish its own power while we continue to work on composting, but still be able to use the satellite dish. Because I want to bring in some people. We got to keep the nitrogen going. One thing at a time. Let's get the large battery done. Oh, this is just a large? Let's get rid of it. I said large battery. I meant large transformer. Okay. So large transformer goes here. If I could ever rotate it the right way. Yeah, like this. Yeah. It's turned on. It's turned to max, I think. Should be max. We can do up to 100 kilowatts on this line. So let's do 50 here, 50 here. And then go to battery otherwise. Okay, this needs to plug into the main power line here. This yellow guy. So that is as simple as this. Zoop. There it goes. Now you can run, and that should just help not use the batteries if we can avoid it. You guys need power. So our main power line goes this way already. I think we can just draw from right here. Let's throw down a transformer. Max it out. And then plug that in to our cable here. And this is the one that controls the solar panels, which are currently struggling. You can see the power is going out primarily because solar is supposed to be helping out right now. And it does not help at all when it's not pointed in the right direction whatsoever. Gotta get that one plugged in. There it is. Come on now. I believe in you. I believe in you. You can jump your way to victory. Up to victory, my friend. So there is that end. We still need the other end plugged in. And then we should see these guys correct. Let's find out. Power go there. That turns on. These get power. Those guys point the right direction. Start tracking the sun correctly. Good. And then you will hopefully stop dying. Good. Cool. Clean that up just a little. Alright, power adjustments. Good. Power line is fixed. The batteries are gone. To remove the load on the wire, we turned off the satellite dish temporarily to reduce the load and at least let these fill. That's all good. Give that a day or two, particularly to see what happens with the Stirling engines. Even like right now, they should be filling, right? There they go. Would it make sense to give you another tank for pressure? Maybe. I think they're looking to fill to like 55 megapascals. That's a lot. So let's see if it even gets that during the day. And I think this whole system's like overkill, generally speaking. It's just that it got disconnected and ran to 0 since it wasn't adding any heat, any electricity to the system. It was just running as hard as it could and doing nothing. All good. But tomorrow, or tonight, I mean, when it gets dark, which is, it's getting darker now, getting colder, this thing will start turning on the Stirling engines. We can see what happens with the power. Okay. What else we got? I can see... Are you good? You just making noise? One of you's locked up, right? You are at 100% stress and just running full force since you ran out of power and then you started making mistakes. So, let's fix that. And I'm actually gonna, let's step inside. Let's get out of the suit. He's got the suit debuff. Okay. Can import this code. Let's take a look. So we're monitoring stress along the way. The issue is we're getting all the way to stage running and it's just sitting here with full throttle and it just keeps on doing this till it hits max regents. If it runs out of power here, which is the case we just ran into, then it can go to full stress while it's depowered, and then when the power comes back it resumes, but it resumes at 100% stress and it has no idea, so it's just looping here forever while it's completely locked up with full throttle, full gas. So let's see, let's do a quick check. First off, do we have the lines code for this? We do. Let's do a quick check here. We will say if branch relative, if less than, if the V stress is less than 100%, then go ahead and just skip a few lines. Branch relative. Skip 2 lines, or skip 3 lines. Sorry, so if If stress is less than 100, jump 3 lines to right here and continue doing your normal logic. Otherwise, right here, if stress is 100, uh-oh, things are wrong. Then let's go ahead and move the stage to stage slow down. Oops. And then J main. So we'll do a quick test here. If it ever, in like this current situation where it resumes and it's at max stress, if you ever have max stress, then go ahead and change the stage to slow down, which will kill the throttle and remove the gas and should make it start slowing down. So do that. And then jump to main. Main's gonna start doing that loop basically. Otherwise, if the stress is less than 100, it's gonna keep going and do its normal flow. So this should keep it from this current condition of locking up when it runs out of power and resumes. What is the name of this? It's going to be centrifuge. Export that code, confirm, export. Turn this guy off. There we go. Let's go throw that into the guy. I think I need to, before we even do that, we probably need to tell this thing to, I'm going to have to manually fix it. Say, hey dude, you gotta chill out, turn off, and stop stressing. Are you locked up too? You're locked up too. Turn this, remove your logic, because you're trying to do the wrong thing. Turn this down, turn this down. Stress should drop. Okay. So we'll manually turn these off. How about you? Are you good? You're not running? Everything's cool? Good. We've already exported this one. Those are interesting noises. You like that? They're scary noises. This is the wrong one. This one's good. It's supposed to be this one. And you need to be reprogrammed. There it is. Okay, and then these guys need to be reprogrammed too. So this one's done. We can just throw this in without consequence. I wonder what's going to happen when I mess with you, since you're actively running. But I'm going to do it. Throw that in, throw that in. You're probably going to go to like stage 0 and start over or something. But we'll see. That's a whatever, dude. Let's let these guys chill out a bit, and then we can turn it back on. It's fine. It's just noises. It's no explosions. There's no consequence. It does turn off our centrifuges. That's the consequence. I wonder if it's even wasting gas. Might be just burning gas. Nothing happens. Alright, they're chilling. Good. Throw this in. I turn you on. You immediately turn on. As you were supposed to. I throw this in. You also immediately turn on as you're supposed to. Okay, so I think that's better code for the centrifuges. There's a small fix there, and they've all been updated, so hopefully they'll stop locking up, but we'll see. Yeah, I can give you time. Oh, you're locking up bad. Interesting. Because it's full of stuff. It's immediately overstressing. It's used to turning on when it's totally empty. This is a case that we pretty much never encounter. Are you gonna shit the bed? Come on, don't do it. Oh, it's gonna do it. Don't do it, no! Ooh! What about you? Did you lock up? Yeah, you locked up. Okay. Are you good? Do I need to... Are you gonna be fine? I think this one's okay. This one is not. This one needs to be force emptied. You gotta chill out, dude. Yeah, so this is an edge case that we never encounter where it's full of stuff and turning on. It always empties itself before it's going to turn on, and it can never have much stuff in it until it starts running. It only allows a little bit in at a time until it gets converted from dirty ore into a usable ore. So we'll just manually empty this guy. This one didn't have enough stuff in it for any trouble. It's already to its full run stage, basically. You can see the throttle going up. Yeah, you're good. How we doing? How low do you have to get before I can turn you on again? I'm just gonna hope. I'm gonna say a prayer to the stationeers gods. Stationeers gods, don't let it lock up. Don't do it. Don't let the stress go to 100 again. I'll have to do the chore again. Don't make me do the chore. We could add more programming to handle this sort of edge case, but I don't think we want to. I think we want these things to be programmed to run perfectly forever and never run into weird cases of it broke in this special way and you had to boot it up specially. Good. Stress go down. I think it's already good. Okay. Alright, what's next? What else? What is this? Why are we raining liquid? Because of the squirty boy? I'm gonna weld this shut. Am I gonna weld this shut? What am I gonna do with you? I'm gonna let you rain liquid. You rain liquid, that's fine. We got a puddle machine. It makes puddles, as long as this isn't like short-circuiting. Alright, progress. Things and stuff and fixing the broken things. What's going on with our air? Air is down to 8 megapascals now. So we flew through all the air that we saved up. These guys just turned off, so they did one of their nightly runs. And they turned off because they totally filled this. Those guys are strong. Okay. This is looking good again. The only thing I'm thinking, actually, we might want to add a few batteries. I feel like we keep running out of batteries in a bad way. It doesn't hurt to have more. Like, it doesn't hurt at all or require any extra effort. What are we at? 5? What if I made another 5? Let's do 10 batteries.
Hunger critical.
I bet those are expensive. I bet that's gonna be a few buttons. Oh, did you pray for me? Thank you. I appreciate your prayers. I think they worked. It looks like it's working. Okay, I want large batteries. These are super expensive. We're probably gonna need to farm a little. Maybe not. Okay. Anyway, give me 5 of these. Go. And the first thing you're gonna do is demand stuff. Look at that cat. What a good cat. Love that cat. Shoot. 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 Meow. Alright. That was a large detour. Little side quest there. Fix the power before the plants die. How are the plants doing? Did you guys die? You still breathing away? Everybody happy? I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy and you're thriving and you're breathing. I think these guys are doing good. Okay. Alright, where were we? We need composting. I want to do composting. I want to get the... We're almost done. We almost got the composting. And we're almost to the fun part of playing with Larry again. The giant arm dude in the sky. So the composting is now collecting air. It's filtering out nitrogen. It's adding that to the nitrogen system. That's getting cooled. That's also getting added to the nitrogen condensation for the nitrogen cooling system. The nitrogen cooling system is condensing all of that nitrogen and filling up. It should stop demanding that when it's at a reasonable level. I think that nitrogen cooling system probably needs a large liquid storage tank, just as like a backup on the very front of the system, I would think. That's a good idea. So maybe we do that real quick. For that we need, let's see if we have it. I see, oh we do, we have 10 tanks on us, perfect. Let's use those. What about insulated pipes? We do, okay, let's just go do that real quick.
Oxygen critical.
That should take like 2 seconds. I was gonna do that right back here. Should you stop moving? Why do you move so much? I wish it would just hold still. That's what the stabilizer is supposed to do, but it does not. Just fucking chill, dude. There we go. There we go. Okay. Just looking for a big tank. You just plug this in and call it good. Don't have to do anything really. It's just extra storage. So this is just making sure we've got a lot of space towards the front of our system. We can have a big pile up of, ooh, I can't go there. Gotta go up. We can have a big pile up of nitrogen, liquid nitrogen. And then that will go out into all the containers further down. This is just a bunch of buffer. Let's make sure we never have any sort of issues with like overpressurization or not having enough liquid in the system. This will have a bit of a cost. It's going to take a bit to fill this with nitrogen. And even just like right now, all of the nitrogen in the pipes is evaporating into gas to achieve whatever pressure it needs to be happy. Oh, it has nothing in there. It all got slurped through tubes. That's fine. Okay, everything's good. So we got extra storage there. We will not see any nitrogen condensation until this guy's cold enough, which needs to be like -90. It's hot. Until then, we have a little bit of buildup in this network. You are still working to pump that, keep that guy full. Everything's good. Okay. So we just need to give this a day or two and see if this is working. This system might need to get a little bit beefier. And I think that might just be adding a couple of liquid vents, like I was saying. I don't think we need to do pretty much anything else there. Composting. We got our beautiful composting building. We got our nitrogen filter. Took damage, I don't know why. Alright, so what were we doing with composting? We have seeds go this way, that's good. We have other go this way. Okay. Now this needs to go into our composters. And I don't know if we want to be picky here. I think we just want to funnel it straight in, basically. We could just do a normal, like, overflow. Just go like this. So it's going to try and go straight, and it'll overflow left. We'll do that all the way to the end. And this guy will be turned on then. Okay, and then we need to route that. We're going to need a bunch of these. Throw them out and paint them. Got some already. Okay. Let's get like 1 or 2 windows. We don't need a lot of windows. A couple windows is nice. The wires are in the way too. This needs to be up a little bit. It's kind of gross, but sure. Let's do it like this. Okay. So sorter sorts, seeds go in to be reconsumed or overflow into lava. The hay comes through here and goes down the line, prioritizing filling here. If it backfills to here, it'll go into here. If it backfills to here, it'll go into here. Backfill to here, go to here. So we should be able to use this to produce or to consume all of the hay and turn it into fertilizer, and more importantly, nitrogen and volatiles. Okay, and then all of this needs to output back into here, and then probably again we're going to want to have a overflow. Yeah, we're going to want to have an overflow where we merge with the chute that goes down into the abyss there. That's our lava chute. So we need to overflow into the lava chute when appropriate. Let's see. Can we tweak the logic on this guy? Can you become a merger? What's that called? It's like a combiner junction. Okay. Does this work? This works actually. It's okay. It's gonna get a little chunky here. Should work okay. We'll do an overflow. That looks good. So this is the output of the fertilizer. Fertilizer is going to try to go this way. And let's actually put that overflow back just a little bit. Okay. Fertilizer tries to go this way into the storage where it will be consumed by consumers. It will go into plants. If that doesn't work, it'll overflow this way. And the overflow here, we can dump into lava. And that should work nice. So let's do a corner. Can go here. Now we'll go this way. Okay. Do we have any more of these? We've got a couple, but I'm probably going to need to make more chutes. Let's try and do some of the cheaper straight ones here. No window. What about the chutes? Any more chutes? I'm out of chutes. Chutes go fast. Give me like billions of chutes, dude. Snooze some ads. Try and keep the ads away. No ads. No Jeff Bezos. No, I don't want to buy your stuff. You keep trying to sell me adult diapers. This is a true story. This is not a joke. I get endless ads for adult Depends. I think they have no idea. They have nothing about me. I have no account attached. They don't know anything about me, and they just assume that I shit my pants. No, Jeff Bezos. Shoots. Give me 100 shoots is probably good. Alright, we got a few batteries here. How's the mall looking? The mall is almost out of copper. And not great on silicon. Gonna run out of iron pretty quick here. It has enough for one more batch of steel. Fifth battery's getting printed. Okay.
Oxygen critical.
Alright, there's a little bit of that. This guy's gonna have batteries and power lines. I'm gonna get it like almost plugged in, but not quite. Let's get it like one off of plugged in. Wait till they're totally finished to plug them in. Okay, that looks good. And then they will have a power here. Good. If I remember right, they need a whole bunch of electric parts. Welding torch and steel sheet. Maybe not quite yet. Okay, I'm gonna try and grab that last battery. I think it's probably done by now. Let's get these finished and turned on. How you doing? Do those just take forever to make? This is a very long recipe. You wanna have a bite of salad about it? Just eating a few bites of food here. Alright, so I saw the mall was getting kind of low. I'm going to fill it up just a little bit. Don't need to do a ton of farming here. But I'm also sure we're going to run out of iron really quickly, as we're using steel and iron to do things and stuff. So let's make sure the mall's looking okay. I wouldn't be surprised if the construction we just did ran some of the machines dry so that they will do another furnace job as well. We need some mats. Let's get a couple mats real quick. Nothing crazy. I'm gonna keep chewing while we farm. But let's fill a couple bags. Throw that into the, I don't know, the digestion system. The beast. Throw it into the beast. And then let our base chomp on that. Have what it needs to keep doing stuff. But we gotta plug in the chutes for the composting. And then do a little programming, I think. Get the Larry arm going. That'll be fun. I'm excited for that. Been waiting for that the whole session. almost done here. Loading up all the bags. I think we need more silicon mostly. Got some of the other stuff we were missing a bit of. Lots and lots of iron. Let's grab a few more stacks of silicon maybe. We can go feed it to the machines, and that should buy a lot of time. Lots of construction. This is enough things to make many things. Okay, all full. That's our farming for the day. Wow, those Stirling engines are good. They've already totally maxed out all of those things. All 5 batteries just got filled overnight. That's crazy. Good. Glad to see that working properly. Alright. Belts go here. Mining belts go into the system. Tool belt gets put back on. That all gets unloaded and sorted and stacked and thrown in the auto furnace and thrown into storage. Overflow is dumped into lava. The mall consumes resources to make new resources or to load them into machines that are hungry. Feed the beast. This thing's so cool. I'm really happy with this system. It's working great. Empty bags come out the other end. Load them up for next time. Saw this battery was kind of low too. Swap that out. What's the battery on my miner? Fine. Swap it out anyway. Alright, looking good. Couple more electronic parts. Probably store some of those. I feel like I should have extra cables on me. Alright, and we have a whole bunch of chutes now. This guy should have made 100 chutes. What are these claddings? Oh, claddings that I was holding. Yes. Reasonable. Alright, we're home. We fed the machines. can see them filling up here. See the lights getting better. It looks like we're low on copper. I might not have made enough copper, but we gotta wait for it all to get digested. Numbers will go up with a little bit of time. Seems good. I love this system too. Having the lights and the counts is so useful. And having all of this is the only things that we need to farm by hand ever. So I like this system of being able to just like look at the corner and see what do we need. This is everything. A little bit of silicon, a little bit of copper, a little bit of iron maybe. All the advanced stuff is always full. Super cool. We're dancing. We eat and we drink. We can go back out there to the composters and keep working on those. I'm going to stand in the corner for just a second. I got to run ads here, and I want to just give Kitty a rub. He's been patient and bored all day. I'll be back in 1 second. Okay, what did I miss? Cat is soft. He wanted me to scrunch his food into a perfect little pile so that he could eat it more conveniently. This is very important to Cat. He needs his daily scrunchers. Loves scrunchies. Okay, we were chilling. We got food and water, and the machines are filling. And we grabbed a bunch of things and stuff, and we're good to head out and finish up the chutes for the compost. Zoom. We need one line of chutes coming out of here, then plug it into here. Seems good. I think we got plenty now. Let's throw a few of them out and paint them. I like the white chutes. White chutes look nice. Cool. Maybe grab a wrench. That's the chute tool. Alright, so you're running along. You go this way, you go up, you go over. You join the mergy chute, which dives down into lava. So overflow goes to lava. Prioritizes sending fertilizer into the fertilizer machine, or fertilizer area. Now this needs to be loaded. This comes from our output of our composters, which lives right over here. Trying to get some windows with it, because windows look nice. It'll be fun to just watch stuff moving around. It can also be good if just like, if you have choke points or stuff's building up, you can just visually go see what's going wrong, rather than like opening one of the chutes and having everything spill out and be obnoxious. Anyway, junction, we're gonna say you go this way, so stuff will come from this direction going here. You go the other way. Good, like that. You can do one here like that. Okay. So this is our output. Do a couple of, what do you call them? Windows. That's what they're called. Okay, a couple windows. Get some of the normal straight ones here that are a little cheaper. You keep dragging these to avoid painting. Good, and then we need another merger, which goes up. Junction. Junction go... Ooh. How do I want to do that? You two need to come together and go... Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. I think like this works, but it's kind of gross. Actually, this is okay. That face is appropriate. We're gonna do some curvy things. It's gonna be a little curvy. The curves curve. Okay, so this one goes funky, but merges with this. They go up and over. So the fertilizer comes out, gets merged from all the machines, and tries to prioritize loading into the export slot that we can access with the ARM machine dude guy. Seems good. Let's do, just for now, I'm gonna do an inlet right here. Could we just do like an inlet? Is that a thing? Inlet, yeah. your thing? Yeah, can we just go like that? I'm gonna get one of those. And then we're gonna throw these in. Blech. Get rid of a little bit of clutter. This also just like loads the system in a good way. Alright, is that all of them? We good? Okay, does that work? Does that all shoop along and then merge and then move along and then go through here and we can see the backup and we can see the overflow got overflowed. Good, and that went to lava. Okay. I think Composter Room is actually almost finished here. It's pretty simple, but it's pretty much just routing some materials, dealing with overflow, dealing with the air, which we've already got. Now, I think we've got like one last thing to do here. We need to plug in the power for all of the machines, because we've only got a couple of them right now. And then we need to give these a tiny bit of programming logic, and I don't know exactly what we need. I think it's pretty much nothing. I'm pretty sure we just need to like periodically click this button. And just whenever it has enough stuff to run, it'll automatically start running. And if we click the button while it's running, nothing happens. And if we click the button while there's nothing in it for it to run, nothing happens. And if we don't click the button, nothing happens. So we'll just click the button. We'll just like spam click the button every second. And I think that's all the logic we need for now. I think you can do deliberate compositions of compost. I was reading online that if you do like one food, one rot, one like raw thing like hay, then you'll get much, much better fertilizer that does like twice as much and lasts way longer, like 5 times as long or something crazy. So maybe one day we'll want to kind of refactor this and try and do something a little more complicated. Have a more thoughtful composition of what we're putting into the composters and when we're turning them on. Right now, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay, so these guys are all on. They're all ready to go. The last thing we need is a very simple program to run composters. Let's write that real quick. First, we'll give you a brain. There's your housing. Oops. Give you a logic chip. Let's write your logic. Let's see, can I just do something totally new? Is there like a button for new? Clear. Okay. We will say, I want to make, this is going to be the shortest program ever. Main, jmain. We're going to sleep for 1 second. We're going to set batch on the hash for composter. We're going to say activate 1. So this program, we sleep for 1 second. We click the button on the composter. We jump to main. We sleep for 1 second. We click the button. We jump to main. We sleep for 1 second. We click the button. We jump to main. We click button. Blah, 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 blah. Just like 2 lines. Very, very simple. Okay, so that's in. That's on. We should be clicking the button now. And we can see that. We see it flickering every second. It should all be flickering. Perfect. I think that's all we need. It's really, really simple. What up, Jimmy, bro? That's a nice kitty. I hope you gave the kitty a hug today. I hope you gave the kitty a hug, and I hope you told him that he's beautiful because he's beautiful and he gets bored. And then I stream and he gets bored and he does cute little floops. Alright, I think our composter room's done. At least a basic first iteration. This looks pretty good. We might want to add like cladding and color and stuff, but we're also probably never going to enter this room for the most part. Unless we're doing some like fixing or something. I think that guy's done. Okay. So now the last bit, which is a pretty important bit, is the farming automation. Here comes the exciting bit. I've been waiting to do this all day. This is the fun bit. I'm gonna eat some cake. I'm gonna drink some delicious water. Gonna move along. How's the mall? Mall's looking better. Still lowish. It's pretty good actually. At 21, the light turns off, so it's almost good on silicon. This only goes into advanced recipes. This one's more important. It goes into everything. But we're good. Mall looks good. Don't need to do any farming, I don't think. Alright, and we can see, so this is our input. This guy's working correctly. We've got our outputs here, we've got our seeds stacked up, and we've got our fertilizer. Good. Okay. I'm going to turn off the logic for Larry. I'm going to move you back. You were running? You moving? You happy? Okay. Here's our Larry. What happens when I, like, activate you? Whoa! What is that? Can you... Is it supposed to just, like, hide it or something? Alright, let's go to the 4. That's an empty thing. And I'm gonna click the button. Do you go down and then up? You go down and then up. Okay. Let's go to... that. Clicking the button would farm. I just want to look at you. Can I see any information? If we hover above a plant, what do you show me? Device configuration. It's going to be on you, isn't it? Here we go. Okay, we can see the position X. We can see that it's idle. We can see... nothing interesting. That's fine. So I think we look into the slot index is what we're looking for. So let's look at the Larry. Larry. That's the guy. Hydroponic Larry Dock. Okay, so we can see we've got slot indexes. We can load by slot. We can load the slot 0 is going to be the arm slot. This is going to tell us what's in our hand. We've got slot 1 is the hopper slot. That's like a stack for the arm slot. So first we grab seeds. That goes into arm. We grab hay. The seeds get pushed into the hopper. Hay goes into arm slot. And then we can keep grabbing hay until we have 20 hay with the seed in the hopper. Target slot is where we're chilling. This is the plant below us is our target slot. So we should be good to read from the target slot various things and stuff. Okay, so I want to, we might need to play with this a bit, but I want to change the Larry logic here. Let's take a look at our Larry. Let's do a little programming. We're going to import our Larry. We wrote some logic yesterday to control the arm, and it is a step in the right direction, but not only was it not working, but it's not a good overall pattern. It's going out and grabbing one thing and bringing it back and dropping it, and then going out, grabbing one thing and bringing it back. It's not good. So we want to adjust that. We also want to change the layout a little bit, I think. I think we do not want to have any of these pipes in between. Instead, we want to have just the normal planters. And this wire needs to be adjusted slightly too. So let's clear this out real quick. You're still alive? That's fair. I think I am gonna kill these guys, maybe. Maybe not. Do we need to kill them? I think we need to kill them. They gotta go. I'm sorry, dudes. I'm gonna kill him. Rip. Oh, look, he's so sad. Can I plant you? You go live here. Oh, that's perfect. You live here. The plant's dying right now. Maybe. They definitely don't have water. They shouldn't die fast. We take some power here. These don't get plugged in anymore. We don't need this whole line, actually. Should just go. It used to be that we were plugging in the planters, and then we were programmatically analyzing them. And I don't want to do that approach. That's not the approach we're looking for, I think. So let's adjust it. Let's turn on the nerd goggles to see through the walls. Can reroute this wire. Go through the walls here. Ooh, can we? Yes, we can. No, we can't. Maybe we can. Let's just run it along this side. It's fine. Go this way, and then we can go... let's see... Go right here is okay. Let's go through the wall to hide the cable. And wrap over the thing. Beautiful. We're killing it. Okay. Now you guys have power again. Nerd goggles go off. You're all powered. Good, good. Where did my wrench go? Did I throw it on the ground or something? Yes. Water can go here. Now you all have water and you should stop dying. Good. Good. So let's remove the general like wraparound that I was doing, I think. We can leave it for now, maybe, but I don't think we're going to want to do this. Especially because we're doubling it up now. That's a lot of plants. If each one of those is growing 20 hay, it's probably going to be enough to keep the Harvey busy for its whole life. But the Harvey also needs an adjustment. Ooh, teleport. Nice. Needs an adjustment. These are all stations now. This is not just a rail we pass over. This is a spot you can stop and you can check what's going on with the plant below. So let's swap these out from straight to a station. And they will automatically be indexed based on their location on the rail. So now we go to 18. Okay, now we go to 18. All the way to 18. So I have 18 down to 4 inclusive for both ends is what we're going to be looking at. Seems good. Alright, we import the code. We're going to modify our logic a bit, and we're going to change what we're doing in general. Let's see, so first off, instead of doing a stack is gone. Let's delete all logic for stack. No more stack. We don't have any memory. We're just going to rotate based on index. Up stack goes. Okay. Let's define some index stuff. So we will have, this should be near the top. We will have our, first off, we're going to have a variable, v index. It's going to be R11. We've got a new index variable we're keeping track of. We're going to have define first planter is going to be 4. Define last planter is going to be 18. And that way we've got some easy constants we can change if we ever want to add plants or tweak anything. So this is going to be the range of our eye too. It's going to go from 4 to 18. Okay. Maybe we do not, we don't have it called pop stack, but maybe we have a function for select planner. Do we even do that? Do we just do it right here? I think we just have some logic here. So we will say, first off, when we're initializing, we're going to move into v-index first planter. Do you want to start like that? Maybe first planter -1. I don't think it matters. I think this is okay. Let's start at first planter. Let's hardcode the index to first planter to start. Alright, so every iteration of our main loop, we're going to yield for a second, and then we're going to figure out our index of what planter to go to. So we are going to go ahead and say add into v-index and 1. So we're just going to take the v-index, we're going to add 1 to it. Cool. If our, let's see, so we'll say branch relative if less than equal to last planter 2. Otherwise, move v-index first planter. Alright, so what are we doing here? For our main loop, when we start, first off, we're initializing the index. We got an index. That's what we're using to index. What are we looking at? What's the index of the plant that we're going to go check out? So maybe even we call that like plant index. Might be a little bit better. Let's call it plant index. Okay, so we've got this index for plant index. We're looking to define the first planter at 4 and the last planter at 18. So we want to iterate from 4 to 18, and then we want to go back and just keep doing that over and over. 4 to 18, 4 to 18, 4 to 18, 4 to 18. So our main loop here, when we enter main, we're coming in, we're going to initialize to 4 before we start the loop in the first place, the very first boot up. We're going to start at 4. It's going to yield for a second, it's going to add 1 and go to 5. And then we're saying branch relative if less than or equal, which is wrong. We should say branch relative, yeah. So branch relative if less than or equal the plant index to the last planter, 2. So if the current index we're looking at is less than or equal to the last planter, if we're looking at a valid plant here, then skip 2 lines, go down to here. Otherwise, when we iterate to 19 and we have broken the bounds, then we're going to move to line 20 and we're going to set the plant index to be the first planter. So that will reset it at the beginning. It'll go from 4 to 18 and then back to 4 to 18, 4 to 18, and that'll be good. And the very, very, very first run through, it'll start at like 5 instead of 4 because it's going to iterate. But that doesn't matter at all. Anyway, so this is all the logic we need for like tracking whatever index we're on. This is the first bit of the main, is just like selecting what planter do we want to check out. Okay, we got that, cool. Now we want to check out the plant there. So, continue main. This is like the main loop for the arm. This is its more or less its process for what it's going to do. So the first thing it does is it sets, or this is just for us to track stuff. This is just console logging basically. So it's going to check to see if the plants are grown. Well, first off, we need to move. Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to think, is this part of continue main? This move we should do right here, I think. So we should say set SD arm. D arm. Setting is going to be the plant index. So we set the arm setting to plant index. That's telling the arm where to go. So we're going to tell the arm now, okay, go to this index. We've decided what index we want to play with. We've decided what plant index we're going to look at. Go ahead and travel to that index. And then we're going to say jaw, wait, is it? move, and wait. Let me take a look. Does move and wait do stuff? Yes, we're looking for wait for idle. Jawl, wait for idle. So we're gonna set the arm to the right plant index, and then it's gonna take a few seconds. It has to travel to that index. So we're gonna do this jawl, wait for idle. Jawl is jump and then return. It pushes a return address in. Wait for idle. So we're gonna jump to wait for idle. Wait for idle is gonna wait a second. It's gonna check the state of the arm and see, are you idle yet? And if you're not idle, if that's equal to 0, then go ahead and go to wait for idle again. So it's gonna just keep in this tight loop, waiting until the arm becomes idle. And then it's gonna JRaw and return to where it started up here. So we tell the arm where to go. We tell it to wait until it's idled. And at this point, it's probably 2 seconds later, 10 seconds later, however long it takes. We are now hovering over whatever plant we're interested in checking out. And that's where we go into continue main. So what's continue main going to do? Continue main is going to load by slot, name and slot. Nope, load by slot. We're going to load into R0. We're going to load from the D arm. We're going to load slot 255. And then we're going to load mature, batch mode 1. Is this correct? So load by slot. Is there like a load from DB? We want like load from the, or load from a device. Not load from a hash, load from a device. We want to look at the arm in particular. What do we have for that? Let's look at our instructions. We have load batch. I'm looking for load slot. Should just be like ls, right? Load by slot is requiring a device hash. I want to load slot ls. Come on now. Yes, that's exactly correct. So I'm just loading batch slot. I should load slot. There it is. Let's take a look at this again. Let's make sure all these variables line up. So we're load slot. The R is going to be our register 0 temp value. The device is going to be darm, correct. Slot index is 255, correct. Logic type slot, or logic slot type is going to be mature. Okay. So this is checking if plants are grown. So this is our mature. This is our seeding into R1. I don't want any of this jazz. We're going to OR them together. Alright, so we're loading into R0, the arm slot 255 mature. And remember, if we look at the arm for the Larry arm, slot 255 is going to be that target slot. So this is looking at the plant below currently. So we're going to load this, we're going to look here, and if we see that it is needing to harvest, if it's either mature or it's seeding, so it's in that final state of being ready to harvest, then we jump to harvest. What's harvest going to do? Harvest is going to move and wait. It's going to try and drop stuff. Okay, we don't want to jump to harvest, do we? We just want to... Or I guess we could call it harvest, but the functionality here completely changes. We're already hovering over the right slot. We just want to activate, basically. So what's that going to look like? We will say set D arm activate 1. We'll tell it to activate. We'll yield, or no, we won't yield. We'll say jawl. Wait for idle. Okay. And then we'll jawl continue main. Or J continue main. So harvest. What's harvest do? Harvest sets the arm to activate to 1. So it goes and it harvests. And then while it's harvesting, we again do the jump to wait for idle, where it just kind of like loops and waits until it's done with the action. When it's completed the action, we want to go ahead and continue main, which is going to jump right back to here. Okay, so this little change in logic, we'll set it so that when it's hovering over a plant that has anything to harvest, it's just going to grab and then rewind to continue to main and then grab, and it'll keep doing this until this state is no longer true. And then at that point, the arm is totally loaded with stuff and things. And we need to drop it off, basically. Okay. So I think we need to add some logic for that. Basically here would be an okay spot. We should load to see if there's anything inside of the arm. And then if there is anything in the arm, we should go to empty, where it moves over to the spot where it does the pooping, and then it poops. So let's load. Let's see. Could look at this guy. So we're loading the arm slot in particular is going to be index 0. So we're going to load into R0 darm index 0. We're not looking for mature. We're just looking for occupied. Do you have any things in slot 0? Do you have anything in your hand? Then that's going to be an R0. Okay. So branch if greater than 0. R0 D or what are we going to call it? Like drop might be good. Drop off. So let's make another function here called drop off. We're going to load what's in that first slot, see if it's occupied, put that in R0. We're going to check and say, all right, if this is greater than 0, if there's something in that slot, then go ahead and head off to drop off and do the process of dropping off. Cool. Okay. Otherwise, continue. So drop off. What's drop off look like? Drop off's going to do some stuff, and then it's going to go back to main. At that point, if we have dropped off and we have pooped, do we want to go to continue main? Or do we want to... Sorry, I'm just thinking out loud here. I'm feeling like we want to go to main entirely. Yeah. That's fine. I'm getting ahead of myself, but let's get to it. So drop off. What's drop off doing here? First off, how are we on code? We have tons and tons of lines. Just making sure we don't run off the end. Drop off is going to first move. How do we move? We set the setting. So drop off is going to move to the drop index. It's going to move the current arm to the drop index. We have to wait for idle here. So we'll jaw wait for idle. It's going to do the jump thing. Make sure that's done. Okay. Good. And then it is going to enter continue drop. We're going to load the arm to see if it's occupied. We are going to say branch relative if less than, or branch relative if less than or equal to 0. So if R0 is less than or equal to 0, then go ahead and jump 3 lines. Otherwise, if we have something in the hand currently, then we want to drop. So we're going to say set the activate to 1 again. We're going to set arm activate 1. She's going to drop. We're going to do the jaw wait for idle again. Okay. That's going to go... So we're going to activate to drop one thing. And then we're going to wait for that to finish. And then we're going to jump to continue. Drop. So we're going to jump right back up here. We're going to do it again. We're going to keep doing this. So it's going to try to... It's going to check to see if there's anything in there. It's going to skip over to right here. If there's nothing there. Otherwise, it's going to activate to drop one thing. It's going to check wait for idle to make sure that drop finishes. Then it's going to go right back up here and try again. And it'll keep doing this. It'll keep just dropping things until there's nothing left, which I think is only twice. I think it's going to drop the full stack and then again drop the full stack or drop the seed. It's going to drop all the hay, then it's going to drop the seed, and then it's empty. Okay, and is 3 correct? 1, 2, 3 is not correct. Jump 4 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here, line 56, we have emptied the machine. We are currently over the drop-off point. We've completely emptied the machine. We're chilling. I think at this point what we want to do is we want to subtract 1 from the V plant index. So we subtract 1 from the plant index, and then we jump all the way to main. Not continue main, go to main. And what that's going to do is that's going to go to the very top of the function at main. It's going to yield, and it's going to add 1 to the plant index. So we subtract 1 from the plant index, so when we go back to main, it's going to add 1 again, and it's going to go back to where it should be, or at the same index. It's going to look at the same plant. And the reason for this is because after we've harvested a plant completely, it's worth checking out if we need to put a seed there. Do I want to do that? Maybe I don't, actually. Because at least in this case, we know that it's not going to want to put a seed there. There's already going to be a plant there. The plant never dies. So that would make it move all the way over to where it'll check. That's okay too, because then it's just going to move to the next one after it's checked that. But it will, like if it needs a seed, it's going to move all the way out. It's going to see it needs a seed. It's going to move all the way back, grab a seed, bring it in. So that's not great programming. I like the idea. Someone said the other day when I was streaming that they set it up so that it would do 1 drop, and then when it had the seed, it would go back and plant the seed. We could save a trip if we do it that way. I think this is okay for now. I'm going to leave it like this. Maybe it's not perfectly efficient yet. We can do some optimizations later. I think in general this is good for harvest and for drop-off, unless it is not. Okay, so this is part of it. We're checking to see if it's ready to go when we're harvesting. We're checking to see if we have stuff in the hand. And then we're dropping it. And then finally we need to check to see, do you like just not even have anything? If you are not occupied, then we need to put a plant in there. Okay, so down here we will say load from slot 255 occupied. Check to see if there's anything. Okay. Fertilized logic goes here. We could leave that for now. So we're going to load into R0, whether or not it's occupied. And then if it's equal to 0, we're going to jump to plant seed. What's plant seed look like? Plant seed does this move and wait. I don't think we really want to do move and wait anymore. I think we're just about done. Let's delete move and wait. Wait for idle stays. So what are we going to say? Set dearm setting. So it's going to tell it to move somewhere. It's going to tell it to move to seed index. Let's check that. Is that correct? Seed index. I have no idea what you're doing, but it's cozy. Nice. I like you cats. Hope you're having a good time. I hope you absorb some code through osmosis. Could only help. Happy partner anniversary. Thank you. Thank you. It's my special day. It's like my birthday. So plant seed. Plant seed goes to the seed index where we have the seeds, which is like index 2 or 3 or something. We have that hard-coded. It's right at the beginning. It's going to wait until it reaches that point. It's going to activate to grab a seed. It's going to wait until it's done grabbing a seed. It's going to go to V index. Nope, V plant index. It's going to move to wherever we're checking and need a plant. It's going to wait. It's going to activate to plant. It's going to wait. And then it's going to go to continue main. Do we want to do continue main? Because it could fertilize after this. I think that's okay. It goes to continue main. Continue main resumes the logic. It's going to look at this and see none of this is valid. It'll try and fertilize if it needs to. But it'll not make any of these branches. And then instead it will jump to main, where it goes to the top of the function and iterates on to the next plant in the loop. Okay, I think this is better. I also think this is very likely to not work, which is no problem. So let's start playing with it. Let's debug it. Confirm. First, I'm going to save. We're going to export. Let's just throw it in and see what it does, and then maybe save scum if it does something bad. Will you compile? Nope. Incorrect variable line 18. Fair enough. I bet there's an incorrect variable on line 18. You're adding a missing variable. This is plant index, not index. Okay, save, overwrite, confirm, export, save again, throw it in the guy. Do you work now? Alright, so it should go to 4. Should check and see how you doing here, buddy. And it goes back, and it grabs a seed, and it brings it in. It should go to 5, like I said. Okay, so off to a good start. Good, plants a seed. Now it goes to this one, checks it, sees it's good, sees that one's empty, grabs a seed. You are mature and... oh, you got seeds too. Cool. So now it should plant this, and then it should go to the next one, and it should harvest everything. Should get a seed first. Should go down again to get the hay. Seed gets shoved into the hopper. It's going to keep doing this until there's nothing left. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, get in there. This feels inappropriate. He's really going for it. Oh my. Look at him go. Now you should stop. And now you should shit your shit. Now you see you got another shit, so you should shit that shit. And then you should resume. Oh my god, did I one-shot you, Larry? Technically, this is second Larry. Yesterday's Larry did not work, but it almost worked. But it did not work this good. Oh my god, what a wizard. I'm a plant wizard. I'm an expert in grass. Okay, so I'm going to leave this for a minute. I think this is good. I want to just go see that actually entering and working inside of the compost machine. But this guy, Larry's doing his job. He should drop everything off, and then he should eventually get all this planted and filled in and ready. And then he'll just kind of idle. And his idle, it'll just be to walk through all the plants over and over and stop to do work if it's necessary. Cool. Alright, let's see the composter composting. And then I think that's the end, actually. With that, everything comes together. We've already got the whole composter room ready to handle all this and to produce, or to handle the nitrogen. So that's all good to see.
Oxygen critical.
So let's zoom in here and see what's going on. Zoom. I want to pull out my handy dandy iPad and see the air. What's going on with the air? I see nitrogen. I see it rising. So our composters are running. They are making the fertilizer. Oh yeah. They're pushing the button and doing the thing. The pressure's rising. Good. Cool. Okay. I think this is good. We need to give it a little bit of time and make sure that there's no troubles or anything. But I think we're good. Give this a while. It's got some work to do. But it is just pumping out. nitrogen now. So we got a nitrogen supply coming in. Cool. This room might need air conditioning, might not care. I don't think anything happens. It's not going to turn to fuel and combust or anything. And it's shaded. And it's constantly pumping out new air, so it should, like, hold whatever temperature that air is, basically. That'll be like a coolant. We can see new stuff coming through and composting. That guy's gonna fill, maybe. Should be going this way, right? Why is it going in there first? Should go this way. You should be the first one to run. You got nothing. You got nothing. You got nothing. Oh, you got a little bit. You got everything. You working? Currently processing? Yeah? Oh, yeah. Are you working? I mean, the gas is going up, right? Gas is changing, so it must be working. And I just saw some fertilizer come out. Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah, this is all working. This looks good. Nice. Nice. And what about this? I want to take a look over here. See what's going on with these. These are all still pretty full. This one is still very empty as well. Or sorry, they're all still very empty is what I meant to say. And look at that temperature. Ooh, temperature go up. Okay, so I think we need to do some work here maybe. I'm thinking this is good for this session. I'm about to wrap this one up. And I think I'm going to go AFK for a bit, do some human things. And then I want to play some Battlefield, actually. But I think for next time, we probably need a little more cooling. It looks like we're adding more heat to the system with our nitrogen cooling, perhaps. Maybe that's what's causing the heat. I'm not sure. Maybe just over time, we've started adding enough heat that it's not, our cooling system isn't keeping up as we'd like. But we need to look into that. We need to make sure this cooling chamber is hitting all the way down to like -90. It's way too hot right now for us to be able to cool off this line and condense the nitrogen. So we've got to work on that. But at the very least, it's more than cold enough that we're not going to have any issues with like our base overheating or our water turning off or anything like that. That's all good. How you doing? You have reached 30 megapascals. Nice. I think that's our target almost. You're good. You're good. You're good. Water's still going. Water is good. We're treading water on water. Water's not going up super fast. We might want an adjustment there someday. Looks like we're still producing enough and it's not getting filtered fast enough. I remember this. We needed a couple more filters, I think. And then maybe some, what do you call it? Turbo pumps or something to try and make less pressure on this end so it goes faster. Maybe some more Stirling engines so that they can push more gas from one side to the other more quickly. Anyway, this is all looking good. I'm feeling good about this. It's about time to go AFK for a little bit. Then I want to fly some helicopters. Nice, this is a good session. I'm happy we got Larry working, unless he's not. There could be bugs. We haven't seen Larry get to idle and chill. It looked like he was working before, and then he started just destroying plants once he had done everything he was supposed to do. So maybe he's just gonna do that again. How you doing, Larry? Are you looking for seeds that don't exist, and then you try and grab seeds that don't exist? And then you go try and plant seeds that don't exist. And then you get sad. It's probably what's going on here. And you're caught in an infinite loop of trying to plant seeds that don't exist. And then being sad. Okay, so we might need to manually plant a couple seeds to kind of get this thing started. But then I think we're good, and I think we can use this program for planting anything. We could start by maybe adding more grass. And then maybe do like automate everything. I want to do cocoa. I want to do potatoes. I want all the foods. I want to stop having to bake potatoes. I want to just eat delicious cakes. I want Larry to make me cakes is the dream. Okay, I'm happy with this. This is a good session. We made some progress. Things are looking better. More nitrogen. Still not enough nitrogen cooling. I want to get that. That's still a goal. Larry's a good step in that direction. We're now producing nitrogen. Much more. Got to give that a while. It might be like 5 or 10 hours in game. But that's going to be a meaningful amount of nitrogen production. Okay, I think this all looks good. I'm going to switch games here. I'm going to save. We'll call that a day. And like I said, I want to go AFK for a little bit. Let me do some human things. I'm going to be gone for like maybe 10, 20 minutes. Shouldn't be long. And then I'll play some Battlefield.